Wow.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at CNN coverage of retail theft in San Francisco. And ironically, as CNN was covering retail theft in San Francisco, the Walgreens they were at was robbed 3 times. You can't make this up. The irony is unreal. Now, this isn't something that's exclusive to San Francisco only. This is happening in, other parts of California. This is really happening in, in small pockets all across America. But just because this isn't something that you might go out and see on a daily basis, or just because this is something that might not be, happening in an area near you, it's still alarming. It's very, very alarming. The fact that there are places in this country where you can go and steal and it's not even a problem. I mean, that when people who are of a mindset to steal hear stuff like that, it just incentivizes more stealing, and you have more theft and more theft. I've seen people go into stores and run out with bags of clothes, from things as far as high-end clothes all the way down to, a book bag full of Hot Pockets. You know what I'm saying? It really is crazy out here. So we're about to get into this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching. Now let's roll it.
Richie Greenberg walked into a San Francisco Walgreens when he saw in the frozen food section this.
Chains, heavy chains that went from padlock to padlock on both sides of the doors, and this was bizarre, something I'd never seen before. This is just more icing on the cake, telling us that rampant crime has become a regular part of life.
So typical that in the 30 minutes we were at this Walgreens, we watched 3 people, including this man, steal.
Did that guy pay? Did that guy pay? He didn't pay.
Walgreens says this Richmond neighborhood store with aisles of products like mustard locked behind plexiglass has the highest theft rate of all their nearly 9,000 U.S. stores, hit more than a dozen times a day. When thieves turned to cleaning out ice cream and frozen burritos, workers grew so frustrated they resorted to the chains. They were ordered down by corporate because of the negative messaging. But Walgreens isn't the only retailer impacted in San Francisco.
You have to ask an employee for help.
At this store.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how are you supposed to shop in conditions like this? What if the store gets busy? I couldn't even imagine this store getting busy. Wouldn't nobody be able to get anything? Nobody be able to grab anything. You got to ask an employee to get your cheese, to get your ice cream, Hot Pockets, lotion. You need an employee to grab everything. They got to unlock it with a key and lock. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we really shouldn't be living like this, but this is what it looks like when this is what it looks like when the real solution to a problem isn't presented. You know what I'm saying? Locking up everything, that shouldn't be the solution. The solution should be to stop allowing, this type of stuff to go on. It should be, heavier penalties and laws enforced. But, in places like San Francisco, these are the types of places where they decriminalize theft under $1,000 and all type of crazy stuff like that. You got laws. When you got laws being brought in a place like that, what do you think is going to happen? More people going to steal. And now to answer to more people stealing, they putting locks on freezers and putting everything behind plexiglass. So it's just a shame that they're making everything more difficult on the employees and the people who actually shop in these places. However, for the criminal, well, I guess if you robbing a joint, it probably is a little bit more difficult to rob the joint with plexiglass and locks all over the place. But I mean, from what I've seen, it's not like anybody's gonna stop you anyways. Sometimes in some of these places, in some of these stores, people the employees are even told not to call the police. I don't know about this Walgreens specifically, but in some stores, you aren't even allowed to call the police on people. You're just supposed to let them rob the joint.
Frozen food is controlled with a cable lock. Fake eyelashes locked behind plexiglass, along with lotion and nail polish. At another grocery store, $14 bags of coffee under lock and key.
What is this?
I don't know. I don't understand why coffee. I don't know.
Here she is.
But
Oh.
it's become kind of like a police state in San Francisco. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's not part of city life. It's not part of the way people should be living, right? And that includes folks who are committing the crimes.
Marjan Philauer, mom of 3, small business and community advocate, says these visible problems in her city are leading to renewed activism driven by residents, like the recall of the city's district attorney last year.
I think what we've seen, especially in the past couple of years, is less tolerance, more exasperation, and more movement to action by everyday San Franciscans to change how their city is run. It's not enough right now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, recalling of the DA, that's a good start. But I was just gonna ask, like, why don't people vote any differently? Just to see if that might have something to do with it. I'd imagine in San Francisco, a place like San Francisco, you probably don't have a whole lot of good candidates to choose from who are actually going to be hard on crime. But I don't know. Maybe that isn't the case. If you live in San Francisco, let me know. I live in Chicago or in the Chicago area, and the recent gubernatorial race that was just held, Brandon Johnson beat out Paul Vallis. Paul Vallis, who was running on being more tough on crime. Brandon Johnson, who was running as being a progressive, he beat out Paul Vallis. So it's kind of like the same thing you got going on in Chicago and San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? People see the madness, they see the chaos, they see the terrible leadership, but then continue to vote for the same type of leadership. It just doesn't make sense. At least try something new, see if you get a better result. And if it doesn't work out, then go back to the drawing board. But what do they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It really is insane. I think if you look across the board, the worst crime, the worst theft, the worst everything, it all happens in Democrat-run cities. Even in red states, some of the worst places are the Democrat-run areas within Democrat-run cities within those states. A lot of the leniency on crime came down from progressive ideas, progressive politicians, and progressive people who wanted to reimagine the way we arrest, charge and incarcerate people, due to certain disparities amongst certain groups and things like that. And, I understand having a heart, and that might be a conversation that can be had, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if the laws on the books aren't being enforced enough, then criminals won't feel compelled to follow the law. You know what I mean? If people know they could just go and rob the joint and walk out scot free, then that's what you're going to be seeing more of. That's what you're going to be seeing more of. And unfortunately, that affects the community. That affects the people in the community who go and shop at these places the worst. Walmart's left Chicago. Plenty of Walgreens have left San Francisco. This is theft. Theft is a heavy factor behind these retail stores leaving. And say whatever you want about big corporations, say whatever you want about them, but these places are where a lot of people rely on to get their food and to feed their families for an affordable price.
But there is a change, and I think ultimately we will get there.
San Francisco City Supervisor Matt Dorsey, former police spokesman and recovering drug addict, sees the rampant shoplifting as a systemic problem, from city leaders to an understaffed police force to the fentanyl crisis.
When you're seeing that level of retail theft, that tends to be subsistence level retail theft.
People who are hungry.
People are hungry. There is a level of addiction playing out in many parts of our city. It's happening at levels we really haven't seen in San Francisco. What I'm hearing from my residents and what I'm hearing from San Franciscans is it's time for tough love. We are not doing any addict in this city favors by enabling behavior that is potentially deadly in ways we have never seen.
Now, in a statement to CNN, Walgreens says it is focused on safety and preventative measures, but that retail theft remains one of its top challenges. Here's some important context, though, on the city, Aaron. Property crime and violent crime at the end of last year was actually lower than it was before the pandemic. So what's going on here? Low-level drug use, as well as the sort of retail theft, may be considered lower-level crimes, but they're uniformly and widely felt by so many. Aaron?
All right, Kyung, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody said it. It definitely is time for some tough love. Yeah, man, we gotta. I think we have watched the progressive experiment play out for some time now. I think we go back to what my guy at the end of the video said. We need some tough love. We need some tough love because people just walking in the stores and walking out with hundreds of and thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. That's not cool, man. But that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. And until next time, you guys, I'm out of here. Peace.